We've got you now, big boy.
Torrent, do something! Use the sword!
Run, princess, run!
Hi there and welcome to the Cloud, making my getaway there from the evil Horn King and his cauldron-born army of the undead, just in time to get myself some of these Sorcerer stones from the Spectral Standoff, because there's been a little change and it's now easier. They have lowered the requirement for entry into these trials, because previously they were kind of high. And I don't know, if you're free to play like me, then you probably didn't get too far, if at all, into these. But now you've got a better chance because the requirements are a lot lower. So if we have a look here, you now only need tier 3 to get into this first one. And they've loaded a lot. This has come down. So basically everything's taken a step down. And this one now only requires tier 4, where previously, if we throw it up here for comparison, the first time this rolled around it looked something like this. So you've got over here, as you can see in this first standoff, you required 3 mythicals and they all needed to be gear tier 4, which is quite a lot of gear if you don't have them already in your roster. So bringing up some brand new mythical characters from scratch and gearing them all up to tier 4, let alone then getting them up to tier 5 just to get into the second stage of Spectral Standoff, was just that little bit high of a bar for a lot of people. So thankfully they have lowered this. Hopefully that'll follow suit for the other trials that have come out. Obviously we've had the Wilds for the first trial and we've got Mythical for this second trial, and if you're paying attention, you'll probably know by now it's all but confirmed that the third trial will be Oceanic. But for now we're talking about Spectral Standoff, which the requirements have been lowered and you will be needing your mythicals. So we'll just get rid of this right here, because these are now the requirements, which are far lower, and I can actually get into this. So not only are you going to be able to get yourself some of this exchange token to go and build up your stones, you're actually going to get a chance at some of these stones itself, because tier 2 is now within grasp. So why don't we head into a battle here and check out how this plays out. But just before we do that, let's have a quick look over here at my roster of mythicals. As you can see, I've got myself a very maxed out Hades and going upwards. He was concentrating on my main team, so I was always going to have him, which is probably going to carry you through most of this trial if you have a Hades, even at a lower level. And obviously now everyone has free to play access to Olaf, so he's the one I took to 4-star to get into the original trial, just the first tier. And then Manticore was my only other mythical that was even close, but because Manticore is a exclusive to the event only, there was no way I could have got her to 4-star there, because those tokens are only available through that event, and that's obviously not running. So them learning the requirements was essential, because as you can see, otherwise you've got these other characters which are higher up down in the challenges, and to unlock them and bring them up to star and gear requirement for this event would have been very difficult for most people, as demonstrated by my own roster here. So thankfully, because of that lower requirement, I can just take in these two for those first 2 tiers, and I would probably personally work on Madam Mim or Merlin here, because they are available from the exchange stores, and they're going to be a little easier to get. But back to the battle here. So what I'm going to do is, as always, we're going to go in with the lowest power team I can take. As you can see, I've got my 2 mythicals there with Olaf and Hades, but for some reason, I'm not entirely sure why, even though it's not really set out there in the rules anywhere, there's a really specific set of characters that you're allowed to take in there, and I don't think it's to do with level or gear, because as you can see, I've got various different levels and gear on some of these guys that are higher than the ones that are allowed in here, and they seem to be a mix of wild, kingdom, and downtown villains and heroes. So the lowest team I have available is going to be my wilds in Rafiki and Simba, and then I've got a Sully here. I guess I could take a Buzz, but it's always nice to take a tank into one of these things. So that's that for your selection of characters you can take in, and I'm going to bring in a couple of good spells, and we're going to see how this plays out for phase 2 of this event. And here we are in the castle we just escaped from, and let's do it all over again. So obviously if you've got a higher powered Hades, he's going to carry you for a lot of this. See how much damage my side can do there. Okay, taking out some of the Cauldron-born. And these guys always charm. Whoa, look at that. Olaf is gone. Those guys hit pretty hard. Probably should have tanked up there. There you go. So now we're protecting the rest of our lower power team. And Hades going over town there. Alright, so we should easily make it through to the second stage of this. So taking the low powered team seems okay so far. See, if you got a couple good spells like this, it's definitely going to help. Especially with these skeletons here. They taunt, so that's going to be annoying. These guys hit hard, so maybe let's hit them with an offense down there from Simba. And take out these skeletons real quick before they start taunting. Ooh, there goes Rafiki. So this Sorcerer's Stones trial is a little harder than most of the regular events. Obviously these stones are a big premium in the game, so they're going to make it a little harder, but I don't think you guys are going to have too much of a problem getting through this. We're just around the recommended power level that they suggest for this, and we seem to be doing okay. Granted, I do have a pretty hefty Hades there in the center carrying the team, but I think you guys should be okay if you've managed to get the requirements for your mythicals up to scratch. You should be able to make it through, although he's just called up another Cauldron-born, so I think we're going to be relying on our spells here to carry us through the rest of this. Let's taunt and protect Hades a bit. And there he goes, sinking back into the underworld. And we still have to take care of his minion. And that'll do it. Oh, and we still have to take out the cauldron, so let's have one big special from Hades. And just keep pounding away on that pot there until it goes down. And there we go. So, minimum requirements plus slightly better 7-star Hades. We'll see you through that. That's not bad. That's pretty good in the range there. It's on the upper end, so that worked out pretty good. And now let's do this the easy way and see how well we are taking the highest amount of power we can take in. So let's do one more battle. Also, be aware that when you have your amount of attempts during the day, you don't get 2 for each. It is 2 spread between all the available levels that you have available to you. So don't go and accidentally hit auto win to get through it, and on the lower level thinking you're going to be able to do that on the next levels up. It is 2 per day for the whole lot, so make sure you don't make that mistake. And let's replace these guys with slightly better versions of them. So we're going to upgrade our tank to Mordu. We're going to take Rafiki out of here, and let's throw in a big bad wolf for some major hit power, and let's take out Simba and throw in big old overpowered Shan Yu. So this is near enough a meta team with a couple of mythicals, and hopefully this time around should be a lot easier. Alright, one more siege in the castle, And let's see how much easier this is. Let's go ahead and hit him with the hawk. Yeah, I think this is going to be far easier, so I might even just save a special for the next round. You can just use basics here. So much easier. So yeah, obviously if you've got a pretty decent team that you use in PvP tournament, this is going to be so much easier getting through this second tier of the event. Yeah, this is going to be no problem at all. Mordu going wild there. Horn King, let's see how much damage Shen you can do to the Horn King. Ooh, nearly took him out. Gets up his cauldron, that's fine. We got spells too. He might even go down this time from Ducky and Bunny. Nope, and this is definitely gonna do it. Big Flame from Hades. Whole row down, back row down, leaving us with this tiny little cauldron. And is Olaf gonna be able to take him out at level 25? Nope. So let's use one big special for a slow-mo from Big Bad Wolf. And there it is. Easy victory. So bring in your best meta team that you got for your tournament or your PvP, and easy 3-star and 11 there. So and 630 again. So mid-range for the rewards. It's a reasonably good payout. So there it is, Spectral Standoff, and you're going to be able to request one more attempt from your club. And that's a reasonably good payout, considering before you would probably only be able to make it to level 1 and get a few measly tokens. For this, you can now get a decent payout of tokens and some actual stone fragments. So that'll do it. Spectral Standoff is a lot easier, and hopefully they will apply that to the Wilds event and the upcoming Oceanic whenever that happens for the rest of the Sorcerer's Trials. Until then, guys, don't forget we are back with the live show again this weekend. Look out for a live event update, and we'll let you know when that is as soon as possible, and I will see you then. Until the weekend, as always, thanks for hanging out, and I will see you next time your head is in the cloud.